Just wanted to do something a little different this year. We're looking through the 1980 Christmas catalog. The catalog is by Sears. I also remember J.C. Penney's. I don't really remember Montgomery Ward catalog at all, but I know those exist as well. I couldn't find the physical copy, but I was able to purchase the digital copy online. And these books were not obviously in high definition, so I did my best to make sure that it looks decent. The words are going to be a little blurred no matter what you can do, but as you watch this video, you can zoom in, of course, on the screen. Of course, if you're watching it on the TV, it may be a little different experience, but we're just going to kind of go through this book and talk about some of my memories, and hopefully it'll help with maybe some memories that you had as well as a kid. So just something fun to do, something different. I'm always trying to do different things on this channel. I'm always trying to confuse the algorithm, so here we go. So I'm not going to spend much time on obviously the clothes section, but I remember the NFL, they definitely had like everything you can purchase, from hats to jackets. I mean, I love the Browns, Cleveland Browns, obviously, and living around the Cleveland area, so it's kind of funny that they picture the Browns cartoon drawing or whatever you call it to the left side here. But also followed the Bills as well when I was a teenager, so not too far away from me. But we're just kind of scroll through the catalog. Not really gonna look through the clothes section. That was always boring, so you just flip as fast as you can to the toy section. I do remember these little helmets. I have been collecting them a little bit here and there. I don't believe I have them all yet, but actually these were pins. What am I talking about? These were the helmets on this side here, on the right side. But I almost have all of them. I do remember the little pennants, I guess you call them. Pennant sets. I do remember these, but I don't think I had them. Maybe just a few of them, but do remember the clocks. And I don't remember having one, but a lot of the stuff I had as a kid, never had the bike. I did have this bed sheet, I remember. Did have that exact one, so we must have gotten it from Sears. I did skip through the clothes section. I never liked clothes as a kid. It was the worst thing, getting clothes for Christmas. And always obviously would rather get toys, and still as an adult, I don't really like clothes all that much. So any money that I do have, I of course spend on vintage toys. So we'll just kind of scroll through some of these other pages pretty fast. Of course, we're going to get to the toys here eventually, but I remember this vacuum cleaner, and that looked like R5D4, so it's pretty funny. And the cordless vac, which obviously they still make today, but I remember the charges on those cordless vacs, they didn't last very long. So yeah, if we send in this today, we can get a discount, so 10% off early shopper. So now through October 20th, 1980, I guess we missed that, so no longer valid. But I did like the Christmas section, so we'll breeze through that. And remember the frosted Christmas trees. I think those are popular again. But we did have real trees like growing up, so we always would get a real tree. But I know eventually then we did get an artificial one, just because it was easier, less maintenance on it. But pretty awesome. So the bubble lights were definitely a cool thing to have, and what's kind of cool is I have my original bubble lights from when I was a kid, and they still work. We were actually putting them on our tree, but then the wires are definitely getting brittle and probably an extreme fire hazard, so we are not using those anymore. But I know they still sell them, and people still buy them to this day. But I always loved the bubble lights. So this is a good laugh. So this is a fruitcake. I remember when these were popular So I remember getting fruitcakes, and just they were absolutely terrible. But the funniest thing is, and I remember these candies, my aunt, we would go over there for Christmas Day, and she had like tons of these candies, like the ribbon candies and everything else. And what's funny is they sell meat as well. You guys remember the Crocs? I remember selling these in school, and getting certain things. I still have on my list. There was a Pepsi, vintage like Pepsi plastic can radio that I'm still trying to get. But I remember, earning so many points selling these Crocs and sausage and cheese to get these points to add up to get this radio for, and it was a kind of a big deal. So I still am gonna kind of rebuy that. Not sure what happened to my original one, but yeah, I love to kind of get in the prizes. But it was kind of funny selling cheese and sausage and cheese. Yeah, they had all kinds of different gifts, things that you can buy people. The gumball machine, I remember I had one of these. My dad actually had an original gumball machine from, it was probably like the 50s or so, which is pretty cool. And it's somewhere. I know the glass, he kept on getting the glass top, and I kept on breaking it as a kid, so I know it's like broken, so there's no like top to it, so we just have the bottom part of it. But yeah, of course the fireplaces were pretty cool. Yeah, the original Snuggies. Yeah, what's funny is not too long ago I think these came out again and people are buying them, but yeah, they had them back in 1980. Beanbag chairs. Yeah, these were pretty funny to sit in. I promise we will get to the toys. I'm just kind of laughing at some of the things. Oh yeah, the wood grain microwaves. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Blend into the rest of the wood grain paneling, which was popular. Yes, the portable TVs. I had one that came out a little later. It had to be the 80s, that was just like can fit in the palm of your hand, and I thought it was like the coolest thing. You could hardly get any reception on it, but of course the stereos were pretty classic back then. So I remember the tape players. I mean, that was the way to record your voice back then. It was pretty awesome to have. Never had a guitar as a kid. I do now. I have several guitars, but I do remember having the Casio keyboard, and I don't know if it probably came out later. I don't see it in this catalog, but the lava lamps were pretty cool, and the different lights. Yeah, here's the lava lamps to the right. I know my aunt had one, which I was always fascinated with. Roller skates, everybody had those, right? The different bikes. The weight set, got that a little bit later. Pool table. I did have a dartboard, kind of like the one to the right hand side that I really liked as a kid. Of course, threw most of the darts into our drywall. So the sleds were pretty awesome back then. We had the wooden sled, some of the plastic ones too. Ice skates. You probably are like, just get to the toys, for crying out loud. Benji, who liked the movie Benji? Bugs Bunny. Sleeping bags. All kinds of different cool things. Tents. Oh yeah, the metal detector. That was pretty fun. Never had one, but my cousin had one, and we would find all kinds of weird stuff in the ground. So pretty cool. Oh yes, I remember these little rugs that you can make. Hook and loop, or whatever they called it. Latch hook kits. You can make all different designs. Those are pretty cool. Telescope. Yeah, I had a telescope as a kid. Loved it. Polaroid cameras. Pretty awesome. Here we go. Start getting into Star Wars stuff. Barbie Mansion. Dream House. Yeah, my sister never had this. Pretty funny. Just amazing. Yeah, I remember the dollhouses though. I thought those were pretty cool. Just the miniature stuff. And then it brings us to this page. I did have Groucho Marx ventriloquist doll, and I think it might have came out later, but it was, I know, part of the series. But I really liked these a lot, and I'm actually looking at rebuying, especially the Groucho Marx one. I can't find one for a decent price. They're pretty expensive, especially the original ones. The model kits, I don't think I've ever had any Star Wars ones. Of course, I had planes and cars and things like that, but more telescopes, microscopes. Yep, had one of those. Those are pretty cool. Could hardly see anything through them. The toy section, which is probably the reason why I even turned this video on. So yeah, I'm still looking for the Casio keyboard. I think it probably came out later in the 80s. Light Bright was pretty awesome. And then the Play-Doh Fun Factory. Speak and Spell. Had one of those. That's pretty cool. Yeah, riding a train that actually came with tracks and stuff. I do not remember that, but that's pretty awesome. Battery powered. Oh, the Sit and Spin. Yes, I remember those. Those were cool. Oh. Little People pop-up treehouse. That was pretty cool. Kind of vaguely remember some of these cars to the left. But then I am a huge fan of Stompers, if you've been watching my channel. So I just picked up something recently from the Mansfield Toy Show that actually was a Stomper track. So I do have a few of these vehicles. I'm looking to get more in the future, but I absolutely loved the Stomper vehicles, so I thought they were pretty cool. I did have Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, but the Stompers, I think, to me were just awesome because they were motorized, four-wheel drive, just a lot of fun. So yes, I remember those little roller coasters, which are pretty awesome. I don't remember which ones we had, but they were cool. I do remember this, but I never had it as a kid. Definitely pretty cool with that elevator. Little loop-de-loop tracks, the Hot Wheel tracks. Those are pretty cool. The little launcher. Never had any of the Playmobil figures. It's cool as the NFL players. Those are pretty awesome. And then all the way down at the bottom corner, the Micronauts. I did have the rocket tubes. It was a little bit different than this one pictured. And it probably came out maybe the year before this. But I actually rebought that not too long ago, and I'll do a video. But it had those little tubes that were powered by air, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Of course, it disappeared quickly at my house, so I'm not sure what happened to it. I either broke it or my parents threw it out, but I love that thing, so rebought it, have it complete, believe it or not, and I'll go over that someday. But the Micronauts rocket tubes. And the Flash Gordon figures, I did absolutely love the movie, the bottom right corner there, but never actually had any of the figures, so I am kind of buying them now. I'm still missing probably about half of them. I do have the blow-up rocket ship, the ship that boy's holding to the bottom right-hand corner. But it's missing like the top piece, the plastic ship or whatever you call it, so I'm still working on getting that. They're pretty pricey. The figures are pretty reasonable now, but that the rocket ship, especially the plastic part, is pretty expensive. So eventually I'll find it. And of course, probably the reason why you clicked this video in the first place is, of course, the Star Wars. Loved the Star Wars as a kid, and I still do as an adult. So this was my whole Christmas, my whole childhood. Definitely the number one toy for me. And yeah, just seeing these in the Christmas catalog, just absolutely loved it. So I would circle many things on the list, or many of these I'm sure were circled, but I got a few of them, but not all of them. Never had the remote control R2-D2, believe it or not, even though I loved like remote control stuff, but never had that particular one. Never had the Bespin cardboard playset, so I know those are pretty pricey now, but pretty awesome. And even the twin pod cloud car I never had. I had the diecast one, but never had the bigger one, so I did buy that. But a lot of the figures I did have, and if you go back over some of my other videos, I go through my entire collection. Like everybody else, I'm missing a few of the last 17, like a Man-to-Man and stuff. I'm still trying to get that, but the more I look at it, the more the price goes up over time. So even the Stan Solo ones are quite pricey now. So, but I did get the Millennium Falcon as a kid, the Snow Speeder, TIE Fighter. I did get all of those. My grandmother actually got a second job from the story that was told to me to pay for some of the toys that she bought me. So pretty awesome grandmother, right? So my sister got a lot too. So we were definitely spoiled kids, but I was a kid that really appreciated everything. So I still have a lot of my original Star Wars figures. So they stuffed animals, the Chewbacca and the R2-D2. Might have had the R2-D2, but I never had the Chewbacca. And a lot of these other figures I did get. So definitely Star Wars was a huge part of my Christmas, huge part of my childhood. So there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories go back with Star Wars. And the trains, obviously, if you follow my channel for a while, I love the trains. I have Lionel trains, a whole bunch of them, and then the HO scale trains I have mostly. And you probably, if you go back into my vintage toy room review, tour, whatever you call it, videos, I kind of show you some of the trains in that. So did really like these trains as a kid, and I still do as an adult. So the Tyco cars I never had as a kid, believe it or not. I did have a racetrack. I think it was the Knight Rider racetrack, but never had the Tyco ones, which is kind of surprising because I did love the slot cars. So I especially like the Tyco ones. I'm still looking at them, but finding one complete and a decent price. The ones that go like upside down. But the fact that, you know, these things glowed in the dark was just amazing. So, or the climbers, the tracks that, you know, you can put on the side of your wall or something, that was cool. I actually, when my daughter was little, they made like a new version of that, and I remember buying that, and it was just terrible because everything would break and the cars would fall off, and I don't remember that if that was the case with the Tyco ones. Like I said, I never had these as a kid, so, but I know they would like climb walls, and the fact that they glowed in the dark was pretty awesome. So I always wanted a plane too. Never had one, but I always was amazed by these, just like the little gliders. Just always wanted one, but I mean, we really had no place to fly it. So, and like even the remote control cars, I don't think I even had one until I was older in age. Remote control cars, some of the games like the Hungry Hippos to the right hand bottom side there, and I remember the Jaws where you take things out of its mouth and you have to do that carefully or else it like snapped at you. I don't think we had that, but maybe a neighbor did or a cousin. So, oh yes, the electronic football things where they're on magnets and the whole thing vibrates and they kind of move around, and that was interesting, but never really worked well from what I remember. The pool tables, ice hockey, air hockey. Yeah, I wasn't much into the board games, but obviously when the Atari came out, that blew my mind. So we did have this is the Sears version, but we had the Atari 2600 version, but obviously it was the same thing, just with the Sears label on it. But love the Atari. That really launched me into video games, especially when the Nintendo came out, and so I loved video games as a younger kid and then into my teenage and adult years, so still love video games. But yeah, it's pretty cool, the variety of different games that you could play. Space Invaders was obviously pretty cool, and I did like the Pac-Man when that came out, but I think that was a little bit later. So all kinds of cool games. The handhelds did have a few of these, especially the football handheld game. I did have the baseball one. Yeah, these were pretty high tech back then, so a little dot on the screen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, everybody. If you want me to do more of these in the future, just let me know. That's kind of different. I wanted to do something different. I always like to do different things on this channel, so happy holidays, everybody, if you're still with me. And take care. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And as always, remember, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Keep on laughing, everyone.
Christmas Eve, guiding my sleigh across the starry sky. Just like you wait in joyful anticipation for Christmas morning, they too eagerly await this magical night when they get to deliver dreams to children all around the world.